Hi there. We have your favorite Dr. Pod Sabinski, or what name am I going by today? The way I do things sometimes, I don't know, with a sense of humor, I hope, but taken that way. Anyways, I was going to say in about 9 or 10 days, it'll be the another anniversary of being restored to wellness and being restored at this time, into the community again from the 8 months I was locked up until I fought them with a grievance to get the medication that was invented for the first time and legalized finally, and that made me and keeps me one of the ones that keep me well. Uh, so this is 29 years later now, and the reason I'm doing this now is because I have a medical procedure scheduled for about then. So I don't know what shape I'll be in, or whether I'll be living or dying, or what the case will be. And really, I told the doctors all this. I could care less, one way or the other. I mean, nobody will miss me, and so who cares? My life's work at this point. Well, first of all, it behooves me, and baffles and perplexes me how I got to be in the category I'm in is age 65, and I'm still alive the way my life went. If you're familiar with my story, and the only way to do that really is to know me, or for a long period of time, or to have read my first book, In the Grip of Paranoid Schizophrenia, which tells the story of my encounter with that illness from the age of 17 in high school on. And it wasn't pleasant. I did well for a few years, and but then it decompensated and took away the next 40 years of my life, and I'm a very sad, bitter old man about it because I'm alone. That's why that is. But anyways, but I made this commitment that day. 29 years ago this year. I guess it's not big like 30 years. If I live, it'll be next year. But 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 I made a commitment in Belmont County, Ohio, Common Pleas Court. That's the high court in the courthouse upstairs. Where I had been taken in shackles a few times, or a couple of times anyway, by deputies from the state hospital to be declared incompetent to stand trial, and or whatever the case was. I mean, I don't know, but there, but like the time I went there 29 years ago in a few days. Okay, there were these three guys there behind the prosecutor's guy from the prosecutor's attorney's office. It was the attorneys against me to keep me locked up, or dealt with. But the new medication made such a change. I waited about nearly 15 years and suffered greatly. 15 years worth of grief, like I wrote in my book. If you read that first half of the book, and then that chapter, Requiem of Wellness, where I got well on new medication, and then what came after. But it's toward the end of the book then at that point. But you would understand. Well, I'm not the same person today you're talking to or watching. If you understood how psychotically, grossly psychotic I was for how many years, I don't even want to even think back. On the lost decades, because it just makes me lose it, man, about my being my age and having the fun part of my life taken away from me. It really disparages me, really at times, but other times I'm all right. But then there's other problems coming up with. There may have to be some changes in my lifestyle here where I'm located. I don't know yet what's going on. I have people help working on it, you might say, in the least. But so, but I'm on top of things, and I have to survive. And I've done 29 years. This means this anniversary. This I'm respected greatly by certain mental health people and doctor types who know me and of my situation, and regular citizens who admire me for the fact that after finding medication was finally, I had to wait for it to be legalized in this country, during which time, 10 years since it was invented, there were 2 times I was stopped at gunpoint in the local small town where I lived. And don't think I didn't think about that all last year, those 2 facts, those situations, and remembering what happened. And this is what I mean. I'm 65 now, and how am I still alive? It befuddles me. It behooves me, with some of the things I've been through and have survived through by the grace of God, or just the way things, karma, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care what people call it, different things. That's whatever. There's 4,000 religions in the world today, over that many. So whatever you think, I don't care what you think. But you know that if I've done 29 years of my own willpower, my own volition, taking every day precisely, multiple times a day. What time is it? Medication. Oh, it's time for some more. But I have to keep this all straight, or my behavior would show, and it doesn't. I impress people who know me better and mentally. Is the word, I don't like that word. It's like, intellectually, but so so. So I keep it together for like 29 years, taking medication on a daily basis, and I don't know what that was for, but it looked good on the screen. So so it's just a joy to be well with this kind of illness and have medication available that keeps me well, and to be able to have a home where I'm safe to keep it, to take it. Is what's in question at this point. There seems to be some speculation going around so far, but I have my help working on it, though, anyway, regardless, to see what is going on with what I did find out. And so something's up, but I should be able to survive it, but I don't want to end up on a rollator or in a wheelchair in the process, is what's threatening me health-wise. The doctor's letters mean it's a threat to my health, physical health, they mean, as well as mental health, to be moved and relocated suddenly, so whoever thinks they're just going to throw me out of here better back up. I know how to complain. I haven't had to do it for a long, long time, but I do know how to complain very well. And I do have the kind of people in my life who admire me in the fact that I stay well, that are very impressive, powerful people in the state of Ohio. So I'm working on this. If anybody wants to join in, just let me know, email me, contact me on Facebook or whatever, and just let me know what it's about, the housing problem. So anyway, yeah, it's another year of responsibility I've lived, and at 29 years at this point of taking medication every day, and I could tell you so many stories, just being the way the pharmaceutical industry works, and the price wise, and why is all it just raises more questions. We all have questions about all this stuff. So I don't even watch the news because it just too much overloads my brain to function and take care of myself in a peaceable way that I self-accomplishing. Moving it forward ahead is more important than paying attention to what the hell goes on in society. Everybody argues and fights about, and I'm tired of the arguing and fighting. I don't want no part of it, so I have no opinion. But that's 9 minutes. So it's just another year of responsibility. So in court, there were the 3 dudes. The one dude, silver-haired dude with the silver suit with the red tie, white shirt, and the blue suit, and the tie, and the black suit. And I figured those guys were Secret Service, CIA Security Operations Center, and FBI, who were involved in my case. In my book, In the Grip of Paranoid Schizophrenia, 3rd edition, is in the Ohio Library System. So those kind of people were involved, and people who are more in the know than me say, when I tell them that, say, "You're probably right. That's probably who that was behind the prosecutor, sitting there every time I was in there." So I'm very sorry that all had to happen, but there was no medication. It wasn't my fault, is what I've been told, And that was the reality I lived until medication was invented. I waited 15 years for a new generation, second generation antipsychotic to make the difference, and then be fine-tuned 10 years later with by a competent MD. Yeah, I'm far out better now mentally or cognitively. I like the word better, but than ever before. But so this means I keep it together for like 29 years now. Every on a daily basis, multiple times a day, I have to take medication. So I can't just be flicked around like say a piece of mud off a stick or whatever. I mean, so nobody needs to think anything needs to happen to me suddenly or soon, or my demise needs to occur on the face of this earth. I need to survive. I've been honestly taking care of myself, realistically, responsibly, and or it would show to people who know me or to the community, to the neighbors, the way and I would make phone calls to those places again, the way the illness makes you do. So schizophrenia. So yeah, I keep well with it. So I'm getting messages now. So we're done for today. It's another year well done, well served. My responsibility as a citizen to take care of myself as a member of the workforce with a disability, or two now actually. I don't even want to think about I'm not in any pain right now from my back, so I don't want to think about it. But anyways, have a nice day there, and think of me. And that you can beat mental illness if you just find the medication that works. Work with a doctor, and then just never stop taking it. Take it precisely, like a background application in your brain running, telling you when to take it every day. You have to be that sharp about it if you're going to succeed. That's all I can tell you. And it's different for everybody. What works for me won't work for you, won't work for the next person. It's all different. It's all individually found. So have a good time with it. Good luck with it, I mean. And see you later then. From here, Paul Tabinski here. Bye now.